And I'd like to welcome you all to our advanced training today, which will be covering apps for gardens. So if
Hey
you're
Alex,
interested
good
in planting
morning.
something, if you're interested in planting something, or just want to learn more about plants, you are good to go. Okay, thank you so much. So I'm going to read our disclaimer before we get started. The WildTech DC Senior iPad program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual help, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the information in any applications or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer. If you cannot see me, hear me, or see the screen, please let me know in the chat and I would appreciate that. And let's make sure our TVs and cell phones are silenced so that way we can give others, but most importantly ourselves, the most immersive experience. Okay? To keep our meetings organized and have some kind of etiquette, I just ask that you use the raise hand feature. Either during or at the end of our sessions, you'll have the opportunity to ask questions using this feature. So with the old Zoom update, if you still see your toolbar at the top, you tap more at the top right of Zoom, and then you hit raise hand. So again, I want everyone in Zoom to please raise their hand. Okay, if you have your Zoom that's been updated, you'll see that um, oops, you will see that you can hit reactions at the bottom and then you can hit raise hand. So again, if your toolbar is at the top, you hit more at the top right and then raise hand. And then if you have your Zoom updated at the bottom, it'll say reactions and then you hit raise hand. So I want you to raise your hand also if you love gardens. If you love gardens, if you like your own garden, if you like looking at gardens, if you like visiting gardens, I want you to raise your hand. Okay, again, if you can see the screen, hear the instruction, if you love gardens, I want you to raise your hand. And it just lets me know that you're here and ready to learn. And I really, really appreciate that. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. We have 12 hands up. Appreciate that. We have about 20 folks on right now. So thank you all so much for your participation. Your efforts are not unnoticed. You all can lower your hand by hitting lower at the bottom. And it says your hand is raised, and then it says lower. So don't forget to lower your hand. Okay. Thank you so much. We still have 3 hands up. So again, don't forget to lower your hand once you've been acknowledged. So that way we can make sure everyone gets their answers or their questions or their comments answered. Okay. Thank you so much for that. And then if you want to communicate non-verbally, the chat is a great way to share a greeting, like a hello. Hope you had a great weekend. Happy Monday. I hope you're going to have a great week. Happy, oops, I forgot to change my background. Okay, it's not Arbor Day. That was on Friday. So if you give me a second, if you saw in today's daily email, because I need to make sure I'm right. It is actually National Peace Rose Day. So if you Google Peace Rose, you'll learn more about it. But again, in the chat, you can tap on more at the top right. Again, if you have your old Zoom, you tap more, and then you hit chat, and you'll get to the chat window, where then you can enter your message in where it says tap here to chat, and then you send it using that blue button. But again, if your Zoom has updated, you can hit chat just here at the bottom. So it's actually a little bit simpler if your Zoom has updated. So in the tap here to chat section, no matter what version you have, you hit it hello or whatever you'd like to share. And then because it's Rose, the Peach Rose Day, I'm going to find some roses. And again, if you see in the daily email, there are a lot of emojis and it's throughout the whole email. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah. So good morning, everyone. Wishing you all a wonderful and safe day. Thank you so much, Miss Mary. Good day. Happy Monday. Yeah. I saw someone earlier wrote, "Hi, all. Great day, but hot today. I hope you all have a great day." Yes, it's gonna be 90 degrees today. So please make sure you keep that in mind and make sure you stay hydrated as we learned last Thursday. So again, thank you all so much for sharing your chats. You can even send a picture in the chat by hitting the plus sign, and then you can hit photo and add any photo from your Photos app. So look, this is the picture I downloaded last week for our module session, and it was a garden. So like I said, make sure you attend today because that background has something to do with our session. So that was cool. So look, I just sent a picture in the chat. Good morning, happy Monday. Thank you, Miss Queen. And yeah, everyone have a blessed day. And for any picture you want to save yourself, you can hold it and you can hit save image. But if you hold either a picture or text, you can do some other things like reply, or you can send a reaction to a certain chat. So look, at the bottom, I can add the sun and add that to Miss Queens. I can do Miss Mary. I can add a heart right there if I wanted to. So you can also do that as well. Oh, that looks good. Wow, thank you so much for sharing a picture, Miss Brenda. Love it. So again, if I wanted to save this for myself, I can hold it and hit save image, or I can put a reaction. So I'll give you a bon, you know. So thank you so much for that, you all. In the chat as well, I'd love if you all could share again, what sessions you're looking forward to this week and why. So this week we have our module today. We have Zion tomorrow, you all. So looking forward to that at 1:30 p.m. We have Annie this week on Thursday at 1:30 talking about streaming services. Really look forward to that. In addition to the one I presented, hopefully she talks more about that as well. We have our movie this week. We have our advanced session on sports and fitness, because May is Sports and Fitness Month. It'll be May 3rd. So just to let you all know, we'll be taking a trip to Peru today or on Friday at 12 p.m. So lots to look forward to. So if you could share any sessions you're looking forward to this week and why, would appreciate that. And then if you could also share, are you a gardener? And have you planted anything before? And what have you planted? So again, if you've gardened, if you plant plants, and gardener can also include indoor gardener as well. And again, what have you planted or what you like to plant? Any of these questions you can answer in the chat, and I would love to shout them out throughout the session today. Okay, so today we'll be covering all about gardens. So it's just some fun facts and videos. We'll be navigating our apps, which should be Seed and Spade, Farm Your Yard, and a game called Gardenscapes. Okay, and last but not least, we'll have our overview and discussion, where if you have any questions or if you'd like me to go over anything about the session, I certainly can, and just have some questions for you all, mainly talking about how can gardening improve your daily life. Okay, so I really look forward to the session, and I hope you all learned something new. So one, all about gardens. So, I always like to give a little bit of context and, some interesting information. So what is a garden? When someone says that word, what does it mean? So again, I just did a quick Google search and I found this interesting website that just wanted to share. And I thought that was very true. So it says, gardens give us a place to feel safe in nature, a personal retreat. They help us rest and rejuvenate and find our calm center. They inspire art and literature. Gardens provide us with a feast for the senses. We drink in the aroma of blossoms. We see the palette of colors against a green backdrop. We hear the birdsong and the rustling of squirrels. We touch the bark of an ancient tree. We taste their bountiful fruits and vegetables. Gardens invite us to slow down and notice the small details. No matter your reason for visiting a garden, you'll agree that gardens bring joy, but they can do much more. They teach us about the mysteries of growing and living. Even a tiny backyard garden helps you learn how pollination, soil, humidity, and water affect what can and can't thrive in a particular place on Earth. No matter the size of the garden, their emphasis on nature, framed by order, makes gardens both appealing and relaxing. So again, it just goes on to say, what is a public garden? So Just looking through, we most public gardens can be classified into one of these categories in arboreta, like the National Arboretum, right? Blainsburg Row, that area, or a botanical garden. So, all downtown in that area. I love the National Botanical Garden. Um, Arboretas, the gardens that focus on trees, Arbor Day. Okay, that's how you can remember. And arboretum's for trees because it has arbor in it. And then botanical gardens, they participate in botanical research, conversation, and education. So it's definitely a garden, but they're also using that garden to help learn more about gardens and how to better plant things, etc. Some public gardens are cultivated and managed by garden clubs or park staff in local, state, and county parks. In these, you may find test gardens that focus on a particular plant species by comparing different varieties of a single plant, such as roses or irises. Okay, and just looking through, there are all different kinds of gardens. Like there's there's sculpture gardens, formal gardens, European gardens, romantic gardens, Asian gardens, woodland gardens. Wow, that's amazing, right? Any garden can include a combination of garden styles within it. The more acreage the garden covers, the more likely that you'll find all of these types of gardens within it. Okay, and I just love this little image. Isn't that beautiful? With the flowers, with the trees, I like the leaves, the colors. I love, any lake or kind of water situation is, I just like the look of it, the stones on the side. It's very relaxing just by looking at it, right? All different colors, but it's all nature. So that's just a little bit about, more about gardens in general. Next up, I have a video on the history of gardens. So we're going to be taking a trip from West Asia to Europe to America and learn more, about actually the history of gardening and where this tradition came to be about.
My friends, could one possibly explain the 4,000-year history of Western garden design in 10 minutes? I'm going to try.
Sorry, give me one second.
My friends, could one possibly explain the 4,000-year history of Western garden design in 10 minutes? I'm going to try. You can be the judge. The first cities and the first gardens known to history were made in Mesopotamia. The Sumerian word sar is translated as orchard, garden, or palm grove, so this pictogram showing trees and an enclosure is perhaps the earliest representation of a garden. From texts and from archaeology, it's known that the Mesopotamians made orchard gardens, temple gardens, and palaces with courtyards. But no plans survive. The only pointers to their design come from gardens made at a much later date. Horticultural and agricultural skills spread from Mesopotamia to Egypt. This is where the world's oldest surviving garden plans were drawn. Like the Assyrians and Babylonians, the Egyptians made horticultural gardens, temple gardens, and palace gardens. The art of making gardens spread west from the Fertile Crescent, and the first gardens in mainland Europe were made in Greece. They were of the same three types as in West Asia. Small courtyard houses were the norm in Greece. Their courtyards were used for cooking and living, and they may have contained some ornamental plants. We don't know. Greek religious sanctuaries, made to honor gods and seek their help, are thought to have been sacred places before they were furnished with temples and, probably, ornamental plants. Greek horticultural plots outside towns were used to grow food, and flowers and olives. In Rome, the historic garden design objectives came together in small town gardens and on great estates. Rich men's townhouses had three types of courtyard: an atrium, used for domestic life and collecting rainwater, as had been done in Greek courtyards; a peristyle court, with a family shrine, statues and flowering plants; a hortus, used for growing the family's fruit and vegetables. Outside towns, emperors and nobles made large villas with the same three types of space: domestic, spiritual, and horticultural. Outside country villas, the Romans set aside land for hunting, as was done all round the fringes of Central Asia. The art of making private gardens travelled to North and West Europe with Rome's armies. Governors and landowners made villa gardens of the kind their families had enjoyed in Italy. Villa comes from the same root as village, and their estates were small settlements, not unlike the medieval manors which followed them. The gardens of the Middle Ages were of four types. Castles had herbers within and near their fortifications. A herba was a small outdoor room for ladies, music, flowers, and romance. Castles also had extensive vegetable gardens and orchards outside their walls. Manor houses had large gardens, but their main use was to grow food. Monasteries had cloister garths near their dormitories and refectories, with vegetable gardens outside the monastery. They're unlikely to have had pleasure gardens before the Renaissance, but they did grow flowers and herbs, probably among the vegetables. In towns, wealthy merchants had gardens, mainly for vegetables, but perhaps with some herba-type spaces like those in castles. Early Renaissance gardens were made outside castles and fortified manor houses. Life was becoming safer, and newly wealthy families could live outside fortifications, where there was space for fruit, vegetables, flowers, gravel walks, and statues. High Renaissance gardens were larger than their predecessors and designed as geometrical extensions of grand villas. Axes, sculpture collections, and views became important. Manorist gardens were even more elaborate. They had lavish water features and cross-axes projecting to views within and outside garden walls. Early Baroque gardens continued the projection of axes out into the surrounding landscape and, around Rome, often focusing on the dome of St. Peter's Basilica. High Baroque gardens, particularly in North Europe, had a profusion of avenues, often radiating from their owners' bedrooms. Versailles is the largest and most famous example. Forest-style gardens, also with avenues projecting to views, were a stage in a progression to a more relaxed design style, intended for rural retirement, rather than for the glitter of courtly life. Augustan-style gardens were inspired by paintings of classical landscapes and literature from the time of the Emperor Augustus, seen as a golden age. Serpentine style is the name I favour for the style of Lancelot Capability Brown. It can also be called, with less precision, the naturalistic or landscape style. Its characteristic features are serpentine lakes, serpentine tree belts, and serpentine paths. That's why I think serpentine's a good name for the style. Picturesque gardens with jagged lines and highly irregular plans became fashionable at the end of the 18th century. Their popularity grew from the work of William Gilpin, Sir Uvedale Price, and Richard Payne Mead. The gardenesque style, as promoted by John Claudius Loudon, used picturesque layouts with exotic plants, so that the gardens could be recognizable as works of art and not confused with wild nature. The landscape style was based on the idea of creating a transition from a geometrical foreground through a serpentine middle ground to a wildly irregular background. The owner could then enjoy scenes which were beautiful, picturesque, or sublime. The mixed style aimed to assemble plant material, styles, and design ideas from all over the world. The principle was romantic, and the results were eclectic. As Humphrey Repton argued, there is no more absurdity in collecting styles in a garden than collecting books in a library or pictures in a gallery. Arts and crafts designers, towards the end of the 19th century, sought to rescue gardens from eclecticism by rooting design in excellent craftsmanship and the principles of art.
Oh, I just wanted to highlight that because I see it. This says Dumbarton Oaks, Washington, D.C. Y'all recognize that area? Dumbarton Oak. Wow. That's cool.
The abstract style developed from the arts and crafts movement, but using the principles of abstract art and the new crafts of working with steel, concrete, glass, and other modern materials. The post-abstract style, also called postmodern, aims to go beyond abstract gardens by adding something more. It's often a second design code, drawn from science, history, literature, sustainability theory, or whatever else has taken the designer's fancy. How long did that take? GardenVisit.com has been providing information on garden design, garden history, and garden tours since 1999.
Wow. Just that whole history in 10 minutes, I thought it was quite astounding. So I got a lot of quotes, and those just images were just so vivid. I can only imagine how, an older garden would smell or feel and such. But hopefully this gave you a glimpse of where gardens came from and, where we are at today. So hope you all enjoyed. Next up, are some fun facts about gardens, just as promised. And I'll just read a few with you all, which are quite interesting. Did you know that poinsettia flowers aren't flowers at all? They're bracts, which are modified leaves. So poinsettias are leaves. The strawberry is the only fruit with seeds on its outside. Herbs come from a plant's leaf, spices come from the seed or other parts. For instance, coriander is the dried seed of the cilantro plant. We actually talked about that in a lunch club before. Saffron comes from the stigma of the Crocus sativus flowers. I love saffron. Vanilla beans are the seed pods of the vanilla orchid. The scales on asparagus stalks are the plant's leaves. Let's see. Tree foliage doesn't turn orange, red, or yellow in fall. As the weather cools, leaves lose chlorophyll, the green pigment that masks their true colors in spring and summer. Each sunflower seed head comprises 1,000 to 2,000 tiny individual flowers. Wow. Sunflowers start the day facing east and then follow the sun as it moves across the sky to the west. I think I knew that. Corn is technically a grass. Really. Apples and plums are in the rose family. Tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, pumpkins, squash, and cucumbers aren't veggies. They and all crops that contain seeds inside of them are fruits. Milkweed plants are the only food source for monarch butterfly caterpillars. Figs are not technically fruits, but groups of inverted flowers inside a bulbous stem. And except for some cultivated varieties, those flowers need to be pollinated by a species of wasps that crawl inside to get the job done and then die. Oh my gosh. Oak trees don't produce acorns until they are at least 20 years old. Wow. And again, there's just some more fun facts. So if you just search gardening fun facts, and this is from specifically the weekly Dirt with Jessica Damiano. So just some interesting fun facts as well. So I hope you learned something new. And then last but not least, before we get into our apps for today, I have a quote for you all from Michael Pollan. He is an American author and journalist. He said, and if you would like to respond to it, I'll take a hand or two. The single greatest lesson the garden teaches is that a relationship to the planet need not be zero sum, and that as long as the sun still shines and people still can plan and plant, think and do, we can, if we bother to try, find ways to provide for ourselves without diminishing the world. I think that has a lot to do with, when I think of that quote, I think of like overconsumption. I think of, us, not taken from the planet, but yes, taken from them in a way. And, sometimes not giving back to the planet in some ways. So, gardens can really teach us that both can flourish in a way if we try, if we plan and think, if we think and do, and if we just try, right? Nothing's hard or bad with trying something new. And if you like it, then hey, you found a new hobby. So any responses to this quote for today? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? What stands out to you? You can raise your hand and share if you would like. I also wanted to share, Mr. Thomas said he planted 2 new rose bushes this past week and hope to see them bloom this June. This year, my peonies are starting to bloom, and the first bud opened this AM. The first bud opened and are just beautiful this year. This will be year 5 for them. Wow! Thank you so much for sharing, Mr. Thomas. That's amazing. I'm not a gardener, but love pretty flowers. Me too. Thank you for sharing that. So no responses to the quote. Can I at least get some raised hands if you agree with it? Again, the single greatest lesson the garden teaches is that our relationship to the planet need not be zero sum, and that as long as the sun still shines and people still can plan and plant, think and do, we can, if we bother to try, find ways to provide for ourselves without diminishing the world. So again, just something to think about and how gardening can help save the planet. So thank you. I got 2 hands up so far that agreed. So I really appreciate your participation. You all can lower your hands as well. Thank you. So today we'll be moving on to our app navigation. Again, we'll be covering 3 apps: Seed and Spade, Farm Your Yard, and Gardenscapes. Okay. So Seed and Spade is a garden planner. It's an easy-to-use garden planner based on square foot gardening. You drag and drop basically your plants that you have in your garden into your virtual garden. You get push notifications when you need to do certain things. It shows you about competing plants, so what you can and cannot plant next to each other. There are sprout and maturity estimates available, and there's a growing knowledge base. Of course, all the apps that we talk about are free, but this is specifically ad-free as well, which I think is really convenient. So what you're going to want to do is, I will put the link in the chat as well, but if you want to download any app, you're going to go to the App Store on your device. Okay, and when you do, you're going to hit the search button at the bottom right, and then type in the name or type of app that you would like to download. So here you go, Seed and it already came up. So I just tap on it and it's right here, literally the only app on the screen. So it's called Seed and Spade Garden Planner. You're gonna hit get and then input your information and then download the app. So I'm just gonna copy the link and I'm gonna go back to Zoom and put it in the chat for you all. If you want to access it this way, just really try to utilize the apps that we cover in our sessions. They really do help out with a lot of things. So I just put the link to this app in the chat. So please download it while we actually go and navigate it, okay? So once you get it, download it and open it, this is what your app will look like. But again, I just put the link to the app in the chat. So all you do is tap on the link and it takes you straight to the App Store, to the app to get and download, okay? So when you download it, look, this is a tutorial. So they give you easy tutorial to do. So if you look at the structure, look at that. Welcome to Seed and Spade. With our app, you can build and maintain your own square foot garden by laying out garden plants and planting your favorite seeds. We'll help you to remember to water, maintain, and harvest your garden. Let's check out a few things first. To start your garden, you drag the plot icon. So you're literally putting a plot onto your garden space, and then you make it look like your real garden. You'll learn how to favorite seeds in a second, but you and drop your seeds into your garden exactly how it's laid out. So yeah, this is your plot information. So look, it tells you, you can check on your specific plants and you can check each of these when you do the action. So you plant it, you sprout it, it tells you when the maturity is, and then it gives you suggestion on when to pull it when it's done, okay? And I think that's really convenient. And look, this is the seed list. Do you see how many seeds there are? There's a lot of seeds. So that you can take advantage of. So all you do is favorite a plant. You can then add it to this list here at the top. So you're just dragging the plot of garden to your garden. And then once you favorite your seeds, you drag them from the list here at the top. Okay, and every plant that is on this app has plant information. So look, just text, growing, sun requirements, sowing, growing, planting instructions, water info, etc. So with that, this is the app. So would like to send you notifications. Make sure you hit allow, because that's when you get notified when you need to water and take up any plants, right? So there you go. This is your garden. So here at the bottom is kind of like your navigation page, right? Right here, your excuse me. So this is your garden. So you see the plot is here at the top right. All you do is drag, hold and drag, and make it look like your real garden. Isn't that neat, right? So you look through, and so far we haven't favored any seeds yet. So again, at the bottom is your navigation bar, okay? So this is your garden. The second one here at the bottom is your seed list. So look, all of these different seeds. If you plant arugula, basil, bean, beets, bok choy, any vegetables, right? Right here, fruits and vegetables, right? You can put them. So let's say I planted some strawberries. Look, once you tap on it, look at that. It gives you information, maturity, time, soil depth, sun requirement. And if you look down here, look, they give you the link to the seeds right here on Amazon. Isn't that really cool? I do have a Amazon. Look at that, sunflower or strawberry seeds, right? Heirloom. That's really cool, right? That you can do that. It gives you the links. So what if you want some white strawberries, right? Made in USA, strips from Iowa. Isn't that pretty neat, right? They put the Amazon link So especially if you have the Amazon app, it takes you there. But look, sowing notes, growing notes, planting instructions, right? So this one suggests plant seeds or sprouts in the 2x2 diagram as shown. Harvest info, equipment. So look, strawberry plant support, equipment. Wow, isn't that neat? 10-pack strawberry plant support, strawberry plant stand with 33 sturdy legs, strawberry growing rack, strawberry growing frame, protecting strawberry plants from mold, rot, dirt, and green. Wow, isn't that cool? Look, find the interface. So they don't fall, right, into the ground. Wow, isn't that cool? Didn't even know you could do all of this. Good companions, right? So if you want to plant strawberries, you plant them with beans, with dill, with lettuce, with shallots, but you don't want to plant them next to bok choy or broccoli or cauliflower or okra or peppers or tomatoes. Yeah, white strawberries. They're pretty good. I've only had them a couple of times, but they're really good, Geraldine. So look, let's say that's good to know. So if I want to do strawberries, I'm gonna do maybe some beans. Let me do some beans, maybe some pole beans. So let me favorite that. So again, you can either hit the star at the top right, or you can hit the star right here on the right. And again, look, they give you the seeds, they give you the equipment. So look, fiberglass garden stakes, bamboo garden stakes, any trellises. Ooh, I would want a trellis if I was doing some beans. A watering wand, and look, good companions. So corn, cucumber. So look, let me do that. Let me find corn and cucumber. And there you go. I favorited my seeds, right? So once I'm done favoriting the seeds that I have, I can then go back to my garden and look at that at the top. You now see that each of my favorited seeds are there at the top. So look at that. It suggested strawberries are like a 2x2. So look, a strawberry, a strawberry, a strawberry, and another strawberry. And then around it, maybe I'll put a cucumber, two corns. Well, actually, let me move this over. Corn. I'm going to put two cucumbers and maybe a bean. And there you go. I just planted 9 plants in my virtual garden. And if I tap on any of them, look at that. So I planted, you literally put it in like when you put it in the ground, you literally have your iPad outside with you, and you can literally plant it in real life, but also plant it on your iPad too. Isn't that neat? So look, I planted it April 29th, so they sprout June 8th around, right? So that's the approximate time. So when they sprout, you check it off. Then look, your maturity. So this is an estimate of when you can expect to see fruit. And then your pull, this is an estimate when you can expect to pull the plant from your garden, right? And if the plant is still producing, ignore us and leave it there so that you can actually pull the plant out unless it's still making fruit. But like actions, watering, it says gently moisten the soil, too much water, etc. So look, you can just, gives yourself it'll give you notification on June 8th and when it pulls. So some of them are different, right? Corn, pull August 7th, maturity July 13th. But beans, they mature July 3rd. So beans are faster to grow than corn. But they last longer because timber is their pull date as well. So again, with this app, you can favorite your seeds that you have in your garden and actually plot them and get reminders on when to sprout, the maturity date, and around the pull date as well. This third button here at the bottom talks about it literally guides, right? So square foot gardening is an easy way of laying out a garden for maximum efficiency. Square foot gardens divide the garden into 1 foot by 1 foot plots, each containing a single type of plant. This helps ensure neighbors are beneficial, reduces the chance of spreading diseases, and makes it easy to remember what's planted where, right? So it talks about sunlight, sprout, pests, harvesting, fertilizing, soil prep, watering. just a lot of great guides and information that you could utilize. And then last but not least with this app is your profile, right? So you can submit feedback, you can show the tutorial again if you need to, any notification times, etc. as well. So it's a pretty simple app to navigate. All you have to do is again, drag your plot, your garden plot. Again, this is based on square foot gardening, 1x1 plots. And then you can add and drag your favorited seeds. Like if I favorited kale just now, I can then put kale right here. But it's also good to look at the info about each plant or vegetable or fruit, whatever, and look at the companions that that would be nice for it, the good companions, and stay away from the bad companions as well. Okay. But if you like Seed and Spade, I want you to please raise your hand in Zoom. And if you like this app, if you want to download this app, if you've already downloaded this app, I want you to raise your hand in Zoom. Again, I also put the link to the app in the chat. So all you have to do is open the chat and tap on that link, and it should take you straight to the App Store, where then you can download, and utilize this app. Okay. So if you would like to garden, if you're planning to garden this year, for veggies, etc., fruits, then this is the app for you. Okay, so thank you. I see we have 3 hands, so you all can lower your hands. Next up is called Farm Your Yard. It's a gardening app. The future of farming is grow it yourself, or GIY. Farm Your Yard is a free app that can help you grow at least 10% of your food yourself. Your personalized calendar can help you plant the right crop at the right time. And once you've got your garden growing, track your progress with plant journals. So just like before, you're going to go to the App Store and type in the name or type of app that you would like to download. Okay, so I just keep hitting search until I get here. Farm Your Yard, it comes up right here. And it's right here at the top right-hand corner. Farm Your Yard gardening app. I'm going to hit the share and copy the link, and I'm going to put the link to the app in Zoom. Okay, I'm going to paste and post it. So that is the link to the second app we'll be covering today, Farm Your Yard. So again, hopefully you all can open it and download it while we navigate it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open Farm Your Yard. Growing your own food is easier than you think. Farm Your Yard. Yeah, I want notifications. And again, they give you a little bit more of a tutorial. So know what you can grow. So they're choose from more than 100 vegetables, fruits, and herbs. Know when you should grow it. We'll create a customized garden calendar based on your location. Know how much you will grow. And take the 1% challenge. So we challenge you to get 10% of your nutrition from your own yard. So we'll give recommendations based on your location. So I recommend use the give permission, but you can also enter in just a zip code too. So I'm just putting in a DC zip code, but I recommend you do the location part. Estimated first frost, 21st of October, November 10th. Estimated last frost, April 11th to April 20th. So let's do this. Yeah, push notifications, get notified about planting seasons and your gardening calendar events. So I'm going to give permission. And look at that. They give lots of information. Look at this plant now. Plant now, plant later. Wow, that's really, really cool. At the top left, you have your your menu bar kind of. And just looking through this information. Garden calendar, 10% challenger account. These are your annuals, right? So annually, you can look at what to plant now and what you can plant later. So these plants right here, like cantaloupe, borage, currants, edamame, German chamomile, hibiscus, jicama. These are in May. And that's really interesting to know. Guides. Choose a ready-made design. So this guide is basically for your garden. So what kind of garden would you like? Like what kind of plants, right? Would you like a pollinator garden, high vitamin plants, a short growing season, a victory garden, beginner's fall, beginner's summer, soup season, any one that you want. So I like, let's see, short growing season. And look, these are all the plants that go along with that. So if any of these are that you're growing, you can select or deselect them if you'd like. So I'm going to hit add to garden. And when you do, it recommends that you create your account so you can restore your plants and just make sure your information is saved. So I'm going to hit, because it's really easy, sign up with Apple. So I'm going to sign up with Apple, sign up with my Apple ID. And great, every time you add a new plant, so if I download this on my phone, I can then utilize both the information because they're on the same ID. So look, this is a survey that you can utilize, but I won't do it for now. But again, I want, let's see, a short growing season, add to garden. And look, they go through each one. So peas, what kind of variety, right? The pea, any notes that you want to add? How many will you plant? So this doesn't give you a visual representation of it, but it just gets to go through. So look, I will buy the seeds. I will grow the seeds. I will directly plant the seeds. So you can do the seedlings, grow the seedlings, or you directly plant the seeds, okay? So let's just say I will buy the seedlings, and then you just go through like how many will you do each one? So lettuce at the top, kohlrabi, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, cabbage, beans. So once you're done, look, this is your garden calendar. Yep, and it gives you times too, which I think is really, really neat. So look at the top, what to do this week, future tasks, archive tasks, right? So what to do, so buy and transplant seedling radish, right? And you can even complete the activity. So it's literally a calendar and it shows you what you can or need to do. Okay. So again, you have your annuals where you can just look at information about different plants. You have your guides where you can look at different guides for different plants or recommendations for a ready-made design. Okay. Oops. And this is really cool. Sorry, y'all. I just hit I hit the top right icon. You can share this calendar, right? So this is what you can plant in April in Washington, D.C. So herbs, fruits, leafy greens, flowers, seed pods, roots, bulbs, stems. So I'm gonna share this with y'all. Share April calendar, and I'm going to hit copy. And again, it'll be in your app when you know utilize it, but that's pretty cool. I can put a, that's funny. Why did it do that? Let's see, mail. What does it do? Oh, okay. It's a an image, right? So I can mail it to someone. Let's say mail a friend. I mean, you can share the app with them too if they can take advantage of it, right? But that's pretty cool. You have this visual right here that you can share with others or yourself through mail, through iMessage, etc. Okay, so plan your garden. You also have a trees section. So look, you can donate to help. You need your help finishing adding trees and companion plants to the app. We're almost there. So if you want to donate to the app to have them add more plants and foliage and things of that nature, you can. And this third one right here, we challenge you to get 10% of nutrition from your garden. See how much of your household is getting from your garden for the month and year. How many people are in your household? You answer whatever your question next. And can each of us grow 10% of our own food? Annual goal. Add more plants. Yep, so I guess this part will, as soon as we grow and actually harvest the plants in the app, this marker will go up. So again, 10% of our own food for the whole year. But again, you can look up information and literally plan your own garden calendar and utilize it as well. So there are some links here as well, like what is this, urban farming? Help us build these features by sending us your questions. Add your question. Wow, that's pretty cool, just what you can utilize. So that is the Farm Your Yard app. You can plan your garden and you can look up information about different plants and look up more info like chickpeas, look, cultivation, planting season, about the plants. What's this? Let's see, about the plant. Chickpeas or garbanzo beans are a key ingredient in hummus. Wow, support, water, thinning, pruning, crop rotation, variety. That's pretty cool, right? That you can, again, just learn more info about all of these different plants and foliage with this app. So if you like Farm Your Yard, and it's literally called Farm Your Yard. If you like the app, if you want to download it, if you have downloaded it through the link that I provided or just by searching in the App Store, I want you to please raise your hand in Zoom. Again, thank you all so much for your patience. Again, if you want to download, if you like the app, if you want to download the app, if you think it would be useful for you, please, again, raise your hand in Zoom. Again, it doesn't give you a visual representation, but it certainly gives a lot of information and just gives you literally another calendar to utilize. So I hope you all take advantage, and thank you all so much for participating. I see your hands. Our last one is a game, because not all of us can particularly garden right now. Maybe indoors though, but even for myself, I wish I could have an outdoor garden right now. So games definitely do help out with that. So there are many garden games, and there are also many garden apps too. I know these two that I suggested today, they didn't, they had some flowers and plants, things of that nature, but I'm sure if you go in the App Store, you can just search flower gardening and you'll be able to find something to utilize. But Gardenscapes is a matching puzzle garden game. You solve match 3 puzzles to restore a wonderful garden to its former glory. Embark on an adventurous journey, restore and decorate different areas in the garden, and get to the bottom of the secrets it holds. Build your dream garden. So what you're going to do is, as normal, you're going to go to the App Store and you're going to search for the name or type of app that you want to download. So this one's called Gardenscapes. Again, I'm gonna hit the share button right here. And again, you could share with others by hitting mail, whatever, or even copying the link yourself. And I'm gonna go ahead and go in Zoom, go in my text field, tap, and then hit paste. So I can paste the link. So that is the link to the third app. Okay, Gardenscapes. So you go ahead and tap on it, you open the app, download it, etc. And we are going to go ahead and open the app and see what Gardenscapes is all about. It's very, very popular. I played this game for years. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Allow Gardenscapes. You could do either one. And I'm just going to hit play. Okay. I recommend you hit save progress. Okay. Yeah, how can I help you? So you put in your name, whatever you like to share. I'll just put AB. You're the new owner. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you at first. I'm your butler. I tried playing a mini game that my friend made. Let's try to beat it together, shall we? Look at that, you're just taking the things off, you're just dragging your finger.
Wow.
Now we can start restoring the garden. Look, there isn't even anything to sit on. Let's install some benches. This is your tablet. You can find your to-do list on it. And tap here to install new benches. So you can even choose the type of bench that you want to put. So I like this color. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in there. We're off to a great start. These benches are beautiful and very comfortable. Got time to sweep up. Yep, beat levels, earn stars, and complete tasks. Get rewards for restoring the garden. Um, I'm just going to turn off the music for now, but yeah, you can see there's many areas to help restore. So even if you can't have a physical garden, a virtual one through a game is a lot of fun. So you play by hitting, yeah, by going through the levels because you need stars to do anything, right? So play and then play. So it's just a match 3 game. Very relaxing, very fun, and you just try to get the goal. So I need 12 apples, right? So going through, you can make it as easy. You know, the first few levels are going to be pretty simple to go through, but it's a lot of fun to just start. Yep, well done.
Wow.
And there you go. Now we can sweep the area. Yeah, look how clean the garden is, but that broken fountain ruins the whole picture. We need to fix it. So again, just going through another mini game. Again, lots of fun. I remember when they didn't used to have this part. It was just the match 3, but now they have this portion, right? So like, we gotta help the dog to safety. So this one can go out. This one can go out. Then you're just swiping and dragging. And again, you know, it's just a nice pace, change of pace when you go from like the match 3 to the thinking, back to the match 3, and just being able to do that. So I love this one with the pot. I think that's really cool. Yeah, things are different, and you keep going. So I think we'll do one more level. So this is level 2. And again, don't forget with your special power-ups, you got your 4. If you do 4 in a row, you get a little mini dynamite. If you do, yeah. So I got to make sure I still look at the goal though, but just because I can't help it, you can. Yeah. And it's just a simple match 3 game. There you go. And it's fun to see just everything, you know, come up at the end. So as you go through, decorate the lawn. And I really like these blue flowers right here. I think that's really nice. So there you go. That is a bit about Gardenscapes. And as you go through, you get your rewards. So you just completed the day. So I got 300 coins for free. And we restored the garden, you all. So I hope you all enjoyed that app. If you like Gardenscapes, if you want to download it, if you want to utilize it, if you want to play it, please raise your hand in Zoom. Again, if you like Match 3 games, if you like the app, if you want to download the app, I want you to raise your hand in Zoom. Okay, again, today we got we got a virtual garden that you can utilize to, you know, help with planting your actual garden. You have another gardening app where you can just see this statistics. You can see information about certain plants and create a food-focused garden where hopefully it can help you have at least 10% of your nutrition needs from your own garden. And last but not least, today we covered this Match 3 puzzle game where you can build your dream garden, okay? So again, if you like the app, I want you to raise your hand in Zoom. Thank you all so much. And yeah, that brings us to our overview and discussion. So we're going to be talking about how can gardening positively affect your daily lives. And again, review anything that we covered today and be more than happy to. And I have some questions for you all as well, but I hope you all enjoyed the session today. It was a lot of fun to learn more about gardens and definitely inspired me to hopefully one day have my own as well. And I hope it did the same for you all too. So if you would like to answer one or more of these questions, please keep your hands or raise your hand or keep your hands raised in Zoom. One, what is one new fact that you learned today? Hopefully with what is a garden, hopefully with that history of gardening video, those fun facts and that quote was able to, help you learn something new. Also with the apps. Which ones are you interested in trying out and why? Maybe your favorite or which ones you like. What is your favorite flower? What is your favorite edible plant? What is your favorite plant to grow yourself, right? So any of those. And then last but certainly not least, how can gardening positively affect your daily life? Or just how gardens in general can positively affect your daily life. Okay, but again, it was so much fun to present for you all today on these different apps. I certainly learned a lot again about gardening. We have our lunch club today at 12 with Mr. Ronald, and we have module 1 at 1:30. So make sure you all check those out. I do see we have 2 hands up. So again, if you all would like to respond to one or more of these questions, or just share your thoughts on the session, please raise your hand in Zoom. First up is Miss Sheila. How are you doing today?
How are you?
Good,
Hello?
good.
Mister.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that I played Gardenscapes. It was okay playing it until they started asking for money. I cut it back. You know, they started, getting, you need money for this, you need money for that.
Well, yeah, all apps are going to do that, Miss Sheila, though, because
Yeah,
there are in-game
yeah,
purchases. So all you have to do is just not purchase them and continue to play,
right. No, you don't purchase, but it's something that you may need, and you say, okay, that's it. I know because I don't spend a lot of money on games that I
Okay,
played.
but that's nothing. I mean, as long as you enjoyed it,
Yeah,
that's
I
okay.
enjoyed it, but
So
my goodness, they start asking for money and all that stuff. That's crazy. And I, I did learn something new today, and my favorite flower is a lily. I love lilies. Um,
mhm.
yeah, and gardening, I see when people do it is beautiful. When they garden,
Mhm.
I can't garden because I don't have a green thumb. I kill the cactus, so I know.
Well, Miss Sheila, you can do anything you put your mind to. I don't want you. I don't want you to say I. I don't want you to say I can't.
I
I want you to get rid of that from your vocabulary. Okay.
I kill
Even
the
even for
cactus.
myself, you can do anything you put your mind to. So hopefully these apps are pretty self-explanatory and they can
Yeah,
literally help you
yeah,
with growing some that if you wanted to grow at least just one thing for yourself.
yeah.
Hopefully these apps can help out
What
with
I
that. But again, you can do
what
anything you put your mind to. Okay.
what I really want is a lemon tree. I just want a lemon bush. That's
Hmm.
what I really, really want. But if I
Yeah.
can kill the cactus, I know I'll kill that lemon bush.
Well, again, you can put your mind to anything that you
Yeah,
want to. So
that's
try to
true.
utilize some of the apps and then see if you can try. Because if you don't try, then how you know
Yeah,
that you can't do
that's
it,
true.
right, Miss Sheila? So you gotta give yourself some some
Yeah,
you can do it
yeah,
because we're all still here. We can do life versus planting. We could all plant if we want in a way. So I just encourage you to try. Okay, Miss Sheila.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
But,
Since you
but
said so, I'll do it.
okay, well, would love to hear about it. And thanks so much for coming on to our session today, Miss Sheila.
Okay, you have a good day.
You too. Yes, you all can do anything you put your mind to. For me, this gardening is not my forte, right? I have not had a garden in so long or even at all, but just by putting yourself and just taking just a little bit of time for yourself to learn a new topic, you'd be surprised at what you could do. So, okay, just wanted to give that vote of confidence to you all because you can do anything you put your mind to, okay? Next up is Miss Geraldine. How are you?
Oh, hi, Alex. Well, this app, the second app, I forgot the name of it. This will help you, Sheila. This app, and the reason I like this app is because it customizes the growing dates based on your location. Now, I like that.
Yes.
And
Yes,
then
it does.
then it estimates the first frost based on your location. And you can plant flowers or vegetables based on the shortest growing season, or you can choose a summer garden or a
Hmm.
fall
Yep.
garden. And then it answers the question. This is really important. Do you buy seeds or do you buy seedlings? Because you go
Yes.
to the store sometimes and you'll see the seedlings, the little plant. So when do you plant that?
Oh yeah,
So
and what do you want to do? Do you want the seeds? Because that'll take longer than the seedlings to
that's
do.
right.
So, but I'm assuming, because I have not, I never really thought of the difference between seed and seedlings until researching, but I'm assuming seedlings will be a little more, not pricier, but it will be more than just buying the seeds itself. I'm not thinking about much more, but if you
It'll be
plan to plant
more.
a lot, it'll be more, but it depends on how much. If you have literally just one by one, just one plant, then I would get the seedling. But it depends on how far you want to go down the rabbit hole. If you want to really start from scratch and start from the seeds, or buy this. I would buy this. I would start off with the seedlings myself at first, because
I
you know.
would too.
But that's really cool that it does distinguish the difference. Do you want to buy? Do you have the seedlings? Do you need to buy them? Or do you have the seeds itself? Because that changes how long it will take the plant to grow, too.
Uh-huh. So, and you have a calendar that tells you what to do when. I mean, the calendar tells you everything on that
Yeah.
particular app. So that's the app I would like, and that's the one Miss Sheila needs too.
Certainly. That the second one has plants. It has fruits, veggies, and flowers and plants and such of that nature. The first one, I just know it really had mainly like fruits. I mean, it had fruits and veggies. There was some flowers here or there, but yeah, that both of these, they cover kind of a variety of information. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you like those, Miss Geraldine.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's it. It just tells you what to do when, what to do this week. I mean, it breaks it down by week. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really helpful. It's for somebody who doesn't have a green thumb, and it's for somebody who wants things made easy for them.
Certainly. Wow, thank you so much for I see you're exploring. I really appreciate that you looked through at it, and I hope it helps you out in your daily life as well, Miss Geraldine. Thanks
Yeah.
so much. Any other thoughts or any other answers to these questions before we end for today? Any other thoughts on the session? And it was a lot of fun to create. Love flowers. I mean, they just bring joy. So, hopefully with, throughout the session with the animations and, just how flowery everything looks, I hope it, this session brought a smile to your faces today. And hopefully it starts off our week on a positive and a green note. And I really enjoyed presenting for you all today. So I don't see any other hands. So I would like to again say thank you all so much for attending our advanced session today on apps for gardens. I hope you all enjoyed the session. I'll see you all at 12 and 1:30 for the rest of our sessions today. And again, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And thanks so much for coming on. See you all soon.
All right. See you at 12.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a great day, everyone. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Thank you.